Are you looking for the best AV receiver? In this video we will find some of the 8 best AV receiver on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. Denon AVR-S960H. In our opinion, anybody looking to buy the absolute best overall AV receiver for the money needs to buy a Denon, and in particular, the AVR-S960H. It truly is one of the finest receivers we've ever tested, impressing us with hard-hitting, muscular sound. It smokes any other receiver here, beating out competing models from Sony and Yamaha easily. It has a wealth of useful features, including Dolby Atmos and DTS-X surround sound, Bluetooth, and Spotify Connect for music listening. With its killer sound and feature set, the AVR-S960H is easily the best receiver you can buy. It's a little older now, it first came out a couple of years ago. But we think it has yet to be bettered by any other AV receiver model. There isn't another product on this list that combines this range of features with this level of sound quality, and all for under $1,000. We'd much rather steer you towards a tried and tested older model than hit you with a pricey new receiver that does more or less the same thing. Number 2. Sony STR-DH590. If you are a beginner in the world of home theater and surround sound, the Sony STR-DH590 is the receiver to go for. It gives you all the features you'll need to get started with a basic surround speaker setup, and draws its wealth of features from its bigger brother, the best-selling STR-DN1080, featured below. You get 5 speaker channels, allowing you to use speakers at the side or rear, and there's full 4K pass-through so you can get the very best out of your picture. The sound quality is solid, too. While other receivers like the Denon AVR-S540BT have a little more sonic weight to them, the STR-DH590 delivers great precision and detail. One of the things to bear in mind with the Sony STR-DH590 is that it doesn't play well with bigger floor-standing or tower speakers. It simply doesn't have the finesse or power to drive them effectively, meaning you'll get subpar sound. If you go for this receiver, we recommend smaller satellite or bookshelf speakers. But really, that's one of the few downsides. If you're on a budget, or looking to dip your toe into surround sound, the STR-DH590 is one of the easiest ways to start. Number 3. Denon AVR-X3800H. One of the annoying things about new AV receivers is that they often increase the price while adding very little. That's not the case with the Denon AVR-X3800H, an upgrade on the 3700H that really packs in the new features. There's a new surround processor, making this receiver ideal for Dolby Atmos, and you can now assign individual channels as pre-outs. That means you can add as many power amps as you like, creating your dream system. There's the ARC 8K upscaling on all 6 HDMI inputs, and, look, we highly doubt there is any future tech development in the next 5 or 6 years that Denon hasn't catered for. This isn't just the top choice for any Dolby Atmos enthusiast, it's the ultimate future-proof receiver. It helps that it sounds terrific, too, weighty and punchy, with real bite. One of the things that hasn't been upgraded with the Denon AVR-X3800H is the design. This looks roughly the same as every other Denon receiver before it, and while Denon clearly believe that if it isn't broke, they shouldn't fix it, it's still a boring build that could use a refresh. That aside, there's no question that this receiver is a stellar choice for hardcore surround sound nerds, and those building a bespoke home cinema. Worth noting, if the price is too high, the AVR-X2800H costs less than $1,000, but has significantly reduced specs. If that's where you're aiming, our top-ranked Denon AVR-S960H is a better option, with more sonic weight. Number 4. Denon AVR-S750H. Previously, we would have advised against the Denon AVR-S750H. It was an incremental update on the 740H and cost more. But the price dropped to make it more affordable, so we think we can recommend it over its older brother. All in all, it's an excellent receiver, with a huge range of features and warm, engaging sound quality, particularly for music. You can add wireless speakers via Denon's HOS functionality, although the less expensive Yamaha RX-V4A is a better option for this, and there are clever features like Apple AirPlay 2 and Smart Assistants included. However, it is features where the Denon AVR-S750H struggles. As good a receiver as it is, it's a real puzzle that it doesn't have Google Chromecast, which most other receivers above it in this list have. We also have to give it a black mark for the on-screen interface, which is hugely clunky and outdated. While these issues mean that the Denon AVR-S750H isn't the best, it's still a very good one overall, and easily the best for Spotify listening. Number 5. Denon AVR-S540BT. We are always very careful about recommending receivers under $400, as they can be hit and miss. The Denon AVR-S540BT, fortunately, is the former. It may be parsimonious with features, especially when compared to models like the $278 Sony STR-DH590, our top budget pick. But it makes up for it with solid sound quality that has real punch and pizzazz. We also like the fact that it's a 5.2 system, meaning it can handle twin subwoofers, a rarity at this price point. If you're a bass head, the AVR-S540BT could be a great option. The most glaring downsides, in our opinion, are the dated design and the lack of features. The Denon AVR-S540BT may offer good sound, but it uses spring clips for speaker wire attachment, as opposed to the more common and much friendlier binding posts. Banana plugs are not an option. That makes it fiddly and irritating to set up, although it's forgivable at this price point. And compared to other budget receivers, here, the AVR-S540BT loses out big time. It offers only Dolby True HD and DTS HD Master surround sound, which are very limited options. We like it for pure sound quality, but it's far from the best receiver here. Number 6. Sony STR-DH790, $448. The Sony STR-DH790 is the bigger brother of the DH590, which is currently our top budget pick for receivers. Yes, you'll pay a little more money, but you get significantly better sound quality, particularly with movie dialogue. You get a very good range of features, too: Dolby Atmos, DTS decks, and 2 more channels, plus an additional subwoofer output. If you're looking for surround sound, but aren't willing to spend $1,700 on a Denon AVR-X3800H, then this Sony will do just fine. But boy, does the Sony STR-DH790 make some strange design choices. The speaker terminals, for example. The front left and front right are regular terminals that allow convenient banana plug connections, but all the others are basic spring clips that only accept bare speaker wire. That is stupendously annoying, and not something we'd expect when spending almost $500. This is a good receiver, but it's not our first choice. Number 7. Marantz NR1711, $799. The Marantz NR1711 is the latest in the current trend of slimline receivers, a welcome trend, we might add. It's a sleek, attractive receiver that really wows on features. There's 8K compatibility, although there's scant content right now that can take advantage of it, HDMI 2.1, and crucially, variable refresh rate. That's important for new consoles like the Xbox Series X and PS5, making this receiver a great option if you plan on picking one of those up. It makes the Marantz NR1711 the best choice for those who want a full gaming surround system. That said, the big downside here is that the Marantz NR1711 is overpriced right now. $1,099 feels like a lot, especially when you take into account the sound quality, which is good rather than great. Marantz do love their incremental updates, so hopefully newer models will see this one drop in price. However, right now, it's only worth considering if you're a gamer and want to get the absolute best out of your Xbox or PS5. Because outside of that particular use case, there are better and more affordable options available. Our top pick, the Denon AVR-S960H, does almost everything the Marantz does, only backwards and in heels.